Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com, and today I have a really fun leprechaun lucky project for you. We're going to be making a beautiful rainbow using only 3 colors. It's a trick that I love and I'm going to share it with you today. And we're going to use these stencils from Miss Ink Stamps. This is the Knock Knock stencil and the Pick a Card stencil. And then this little gnome from Pumpkin Spice Gnomes is going to be turned into a leprechaun. And I'm going to use the stamp from this stamp set that says Adventure Awaits. And so that'll be our sentiment for today. So I have here 2 pieces of cardstock. One's cut a little bit smaller than the other, and these are A2 sized, meaning the larger one is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this smaller one here that I'm inking up is just a little bit smaller than that so that we have a smaller panel that will go on top. So I have 3 colors here, and this is how I'm going to create the rainbow today. I'm using distress inks in Mustard Seed and Festive Berries and Broken China. So I'm first going to start with the yellow color, the lightest color, ink that on, and I'm going to ink it a little further than I think so that I can blend the red with the yellow and create an orange. This is how we're going to get our rainbow today, by doing some ink blending. Then I'm going to blend on the blue color here, and I'll blend it together with the yellow so that I create a green as well. So we're going to get kind of a subtle rainbow with just these 3 colors, and I'll go back and forth from each color just to get a really good blend. So look at that beautiful rainbow, so pretty. And I'm just going to outline this with a gray Prismacolor marker. Now you can use any marker you have. You can use a Copic marker or anything. I'm just using this light gray just to give it a little more definition around the edges here. And if you have seen the latest card by Oliver Gleason, he did a card using this stencil here, and he added some shadows so it looked 3D. It was really, really cool. So go check that out. I'll try to link that here at the description below, and it is worth taking a look at. So now I'm going to create the background, and I want a glittery background for this to go on. So I'm going to use some score tape, and I'm going to put it all around the outside of this card, lining up the outside edge with the outside edge of the cardstock. And this way I'm going to be able to create a glitter background for my card. I'm using this beautiful Dazzle dust by Miss Ink Stamps. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous glitter because it's the only one that I've seen that changes color in the light. So this is called Moody Blues. It's blue in color, but when you turn it just right, it's green. And when you put it with other green things, I think it takes on that color as well. It is really, really cool. So all I'm doing is just putting that around and burnishing it into the score tape using my bone folder here. I've got a Swiffer to pick up that extra glitter, and then I'm going to shake off the excess. Now, if you don't like using glitter, you could always use glitter paper. Look at how that shines. My goodness. You can always use glitter paper, or you can use embossing powder, or you can use some translucent powder to mix this into so that it will stay onto your card. I'll do another card like that later in the future. But for today, I am just sprinkling it on and burnishing it into the score tape. I like to clean it up with my surface sweep and then take the Swiffer and get all that excess glitter. That's how I clean up my glitter. It works really well. Now I missed a few spots here with the tape because there was a little bit of a gap in between where those tapes met up. No problem, just add a little bit of liquid adhesive and sprinkle on some of that glitter. Allow it to dry, and you won't even be able to tell that there was a gap there before. Super simple. I went ahead and stamped that gnome onto some scrap paper here. This is Neenah Solar White, 80-pound cardstock, which I like to use for Copic coloring. I like to use all of my scraps as well. So this was just big enough to fit that gnome on there, and I'm going to color him up like a leprechaun. So I'm using some of my favorite greens here, YG09, YG05, and blending that through with the YG01. You might have noticed I threw the YG13 in there, but I decided I didn't really like that for the color change. It wasn't enough of a variation, so I went ahead and put that one away. And then I added a darker G19 so that I could get more of a contrast. So this is me going through and adding some more of the shadows. And then I'm just going to blend those through with all of the colors that I used before. And that creates a really nice blend. I think he's turning out to be a little like a leprechaun. What do you think? I colored up every other stripe in his pants with the same green combination and also his belt. These are really small areas, so you really don't have to use all of these colors if you don't want to, because just a small area, you could get away with 1 or 2 colors. For the gnome's skin, I'm using some E55, E53, E51, and E50, and just giving him a little bit of a tan here. So his face, his nose, and his little hand is all that's showing. So that's really simple and fast to color. I did take a light pink also and added some rosy cheeks. Very, very simple and easy to do. For his beard, I'm going in with some cool grays. The darkest is the C3, and I'm just following along those lines in all his beard with the darker color, going to blend it out with a C0, and then I'm going to go in with the C00 to just blend that out even more. I'm just giving him a light gray idea of a beard here because we're going to add a lot of glitter later on. I'm giving him a blue shirt. These are some of my favorite blues, especially for jeans, and that's the B97, 95, and 93. Just coloring them like I colored all the rest, darkest, medium, and light. And then going back in with the darkest yet again to give it even more contrast. So there you go. There is his shirt. Now for that staff, let's start with the shoes actually. I love to give him some shiny shoes. So I start with a dark gray, blend it out with a medium gray, and then go over the whole entire thing with the lightest gray of all. And that makes him look like he has a little bit of a shiny shoe. That looks really cute. For his staff, this is supposed to be a cinnamon stick, but today it's a golden staff. So I'm coloring it in gold because you know there's always going to be some gold at the end of the rainbow, right? So this is going to be these colors, YR23, Y15, Y00, and Y11, I believe. Yes, Y11. And I'm just going to blend those out and add the darkest color to both sides of that staff. Makes it look a little gold. I'll add a little bit of sparkle later as well to this staff. I colored up the pumpkin at the end of his hat the same colors, which is going to turn into a gold coin actually at the end. And now I'm just going to fussy cut him out, and then we're going to start putting this whole card together. Look how cute that gnome looks on the rainbow key here, and then we're going to also add some of these shamrocks. So I just taped off this shamrock, which is also the club here, from this stencil, and I'm inking it up in green, and I'm going to make 3 of those. I'm trying to do a variation in colors of green, so some are darker, some are lighter, and then I'm going to fussy cut those out to put those on the card. Before we attach everything together, I'm going to stamp that sentiment that says adventure awaits in a green color, of course, and that's going to look really cute. I tested it out first here on my Stamp-A-Majig. I like to do that just to make sure I've got the right placement. There is our adventure awaits. And now we're ready to add some of the glittery details. This is my favorite part of a card, actually. I can't resist. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to the white stripes, the ones that I didn't color up, and those are going to become the Moody Blues glitter. So I'll just sprinkle that over the liquid adhesive here, allow that to sit for just a minute or two, and then I'll shake off the excess and clean up any of the extra glitter with my craft pick here. And look at that, some sparkly pants. A leprechaun should have sparkly pants, don't you think? So that's really cute. I'm adding the shamrocks to the card with some little foam squares. And these are the small foam squares, so they fit perfectly behind those shamrocks. By the way, there is not a 4-leaf clover anywhere to be found here. And then I'll attach the gnome as well with some foam tape and the 3D squares. And then we'll put this whole thing onto the glitter cardstock that we created earlier with that Dazzle dust. I'm using a lot of liquid adhesive here because with the glitter I want to make sure that this whole panel sticks down really well. And I'll cover that with some acrylic blocks to give it time to dry. Now I'm going to take some unicorn stickles, add it to those shamrocks. This has a little touch of a gold glint to it, and so that's really pretty. And then this mercury color here, I'm going to add to his golden coin and the golden staff. Just a little bit here and there. I definitely don't want to overdo the glitter, right? And so we'll add a little bit of that mercury glass there, so pretty. And then my very favorite Stardust Stickles is going on to his beard because I think a leprechaun should have a glittery beard. I think a rainbow beard would be pretty too. I don't know, what do you think? Someone needs to try a rainbow beard. So there is our card. Look at all that sparkle. See the Dazzle dust and the sparkle on the clovers, on the golden staff, and on his beard. I just love how that Dazzle dust changes colors in the light. It is so beautiful. So that's our lucky project for today. I hope you enjoyed this with the multicolored rainbows, the changing Dazzle dust, and those shamrocks with all the green and sparkles. I really enjoyed making this today. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.